This is Artifact 4. It covers Standard 2.2, ISTE Criterion 6, Advocate for Equitable Access. Advocate for equitable access to educational technology, digital content, and learning opportunities to meet the diverse needs of all students. I completed this advocacy project by completing a grant proposal. At the time of this project, I worked at Norton Elementary School, which is a Title I school in Snellville, Georgia, that serves mostly African American and Hispanic students. We saw that there was a need for technology after looking at milestone data and universal screener data, and we saw that the majority, almost 80% of our students, were falling below grade level and were not considered proficient in reading or math. This showed that there was a direct need for intervention. The project goals were to obtain 500 iPads for upper grade students and teachers, allow students access to built-in assistive technology on the iPads to assist with reading and other contents, as well as allow the students to use the technology to help increase their proficiency levels across multiple subjects. At the time of this project, students already had one-to-one devices. They had Chromebooks. However, I wanted there to be something different, such as the iPads, because they do have the built-in assistive technology, and I felt like they would help students more, specifically with reading foundational skills. The background of this project just showed that many students were struggling readers, and one of the reasons that they weren't reading on grade level, there were many, but one of the main ones was that they did their foundational years during doing school virtually due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Students may have been taught the skills virtually, but all of them did not have the hands-on attention that they really needed to learn those foundational reading skills. So this problem continued to be, and it was following them into upper grades, 3rd and 4th grade. And we were seeing that teachers wanted to help students as much as possible, but they already had their standards that they needed to teach. And students were continuing to fall behind, and it was a struggle for them to learn their current grade level material because they were struggling with those foundational skills. So I thought that the use of technology and using assistive technology with the iPads could have helped this. The people that really helped with this project, or would help with this project if it rolled out, would be the technology team, the teachers, and the students. Everybody would play a vital role. The first concept of this project was to just make sure students were able to get the confidence that they needed, and by increasing their reading skills, it would make them more confident, and it would help those problems not go over into other subjects. For example, if students don't have the foundational reading skills they need, then that can follow them in math, because now how do they read word problems? And then the second concept was that iPads have features that can help fill these gaps for students that are lacking in these literacy skills. Those features, most of them are automatically built into the device, but there are other things that can be downloaded to the device as well. This was just much easier to use for students than the Chromebooks for certain things. And this would allow students to have access to assistive technology, and not just those students that qualify for it under special education. What we were seeing here is that many students were behind, but it was taking so long, and because almost 80% of our students were below where they needed to be, we can't go through the SST process. We can't go through putting everyone in special education. So I wanted to think about what are things that we can use, taking some of those special education principles away, some of those things that they do there, and what can we do in the general education classroom to help students. So assistive technology was something that students typically qualify for under special education, but they would be able to use it for these the intervention that they will be getting. I plan to submit this grant proposal to these different organizations, and then if everything was not covered in the grant proposal, then Title I funds could cover the rest. And then the total cost of this project would be about $233,995. And as far as getting teachers trained to be able to do this, Kurzweil $3,000, the district could provide this, and then we could have professional development in-house to help teachers with this as well. So for equitable access, it was my hope that this project with the iPads could help students reach their academic goals. Though the iPads cannot do the work for students, it can help them tremendously work towards gaining more strategies to do the work themselves. Preparing this grant proposal was a great experience for me, and it was also a good way for me to advocate for my students and their educational needs.